All right, welcome back to Learning Partner. So this is the fourth episode of Angular 22 tutorial. So till now we have completed basics installation and the setup, component, TypeScript introduction, data binding. Now in the third episode we are going to discuss about routing. So before moving ahead, if you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe to Learning Partner. This is me, Chetan Zogi. Right, I have around 13 years of experience into Angular, .NET, and React technologies. Right, so let's begin with this routing now. So the same project I'm following. Okay, so if you are following, this is the project what we have created. So data binding was the last thing what we completed. Now, so till now we have two component, data binding and the variable. Now let's say currently how we are rendering, right? So we are rendering particular component by the particular route. Sorry, means by using the selector of that component. But consider your so many components are there. You are not going to load component by the selector. So we need some navigation. If you click on particular navigation, that component should render, right? So that navigation thing should be there. So to achieve that navigation, we need routing. So when we talk about routing, as Angular is a single page application, to achieve multiple page based navigation, so from one page I'm able to navigate to another page, you need routing library, which is by default included in our Angular application. We don't need to install it separately, right? So before starting with the routing, as we are going to need that navbar, so I'm going to install bootstrap now. Now, when we created the project, this was our package.json. We don't have bootstrap over here. Now let's say you want to use bootstrap in your Angular application, so you have to go to npm, search bootstrap over here. Remember, in the first episode, I explained package.json. What's the purpose of it? So all the packages, whatever you are going to need, you add it into your package.json or you install it. Once you install it, so this is the command npm i bootstrap. The latest version 5.3.8 will get installed. So let's copy it. Now I will open a new terminal on the parent folder, project folder, root folder, npm i bootstrap. So once this successfully installed, that entry of that bootstrap will get added over here. Okay. So here you can see bootstrap entry has been added. So that's what I said, ki package.json will contain all the entries of the packages, whatever you use while working on Angular. Okay. Now you install the bootstrap, but now you cannot use the classes from it. You need to register that into your angular.json. How do you do that? So in node module, you might have got a folder that is bootstrap. So from dist folder, CSS, bootstrap.min.css we have. So we need a path of this. So let's copy relative path of it. Now this we need to register into our angular.json in your styles array. Let's add it over here. We have dot slash and this forward slash we need to remove with backslash. And comma. So in your Angular project, what are the external CSS which we are going to use? So that you need to add it over here. Fine. So we have installed the bootstrap. We have added the entry into your angular.json also. Now we need to compile your application again. Whenever you do changes in your angular.json, you need to recompile your application. Then only changes will come into effect. Let's run it. Okay. Now we need a bootstrap navbar. So what we will do, bootstrap W3. I'm going to W3. I just need that navbar. So let's go it over here where we have navbar. So I need this one, the black one. So I'm just extracting it from over here. Edit as a HTML. Sorry, just a minute. Why it is behaving randomly now? Just a moment. Let me copy it properly. Right click, edit as HTML, Control C, copy. Okay. Now this navbar, we will keep it into our app component because this is our parent component for now. I'm removing everything. So now in my app component, I just have a navbar. Let's see if the bootstrap is properly installed. You can see you got a navbar, but here is some spacing is coming because it will have some style. Let me remove this. Fine. So this is your navbar. Now what we need to do, let's create couple of components. So data binding, then next topic we are going to say is directive. So let's create a component for that. So how do you create a component? Ng generate component directive examples exp only, enter. So we have created three component: data binding, variable, and your directives example. Now in your navbar you will have three links. Let's say variables, then your data binding, and your directives. Fine. Now what should happen if I click on this? My data binding component should load. If I click on variable, my variable component should load over here. So for this, we need to do some setup. So when you created the project, you got app route.ts here. Initially it was empty. Now here you have to create your routes. Route is nothing but an object. So what thing you have it in a route object? So curly bracket. Now here you can see certain properties are coming up by default. So these are the properties what you can have in a route object. So first one is the path. So path is nothing but your URL of your component. By what URL you are going to access your component. Fine. So here, let's say we have three components. So variables, the first component. So variable component you will access by this URL. Then if in the URL you have this variable, what component you need to load? So that component class name you need to specify. So variable, see, once you type, it is suggesting you just select on it, import will get automatically added. This is your first route, second route, again path, data binding, then component, data binding component, second, third, we have three component, path, directives, component, directive example. Okay, so we created three component. So for three component, we have created three routes like this. So in your app route.ts, you create component like this. You created a route. Okay, now these routes you need to access from this over here. So here, instead of href, href was responsible to navigate from one page to another page. But in Angular, we don't use href, we use router link. So to use router link, what you need to do? So first in your app component.ts, you need to import router link over here. Let's get rid of them. Router link. It is a directive which works as a href. Okay. Now we don't need this import. So since we added the router link, now in your HTML on your anchor tag, you can use router link equal to. Now here you have to provide the route name which you have given it over here, not the class name, nothing. Whatever the path name you have given, that you need to provide it over here. Let's copy, let's put it over here. Either you can do like this or you can do the property binding also like this, but in single code. Then the second is data binding. Third, router link is equal to your directives, the path name of the directives. Save, and let's try to check it now. What is happening? So currently we are in the in your URL, you can see localhost 4200. If I click on directive, see URL changing, but your component is not loading. So now to load the component, we have to use one more directive, that is router outlet. So in your app.ts, you have to import router outlet. Router outlet. So router outlet, the job of router outlet directive is to load the activated component, activated route component. Okay. So after the navbar, you will have router outlet like this. Now you will be able to see the component is getting loaded. See, if I click on variable, let me close it. See, variable component is getting loaded. If I click on data binding, see, this is the example what we did in data binding. If I click on directive, so see, URL is also changing and your component is also loading. This is your routing. So what you do to achieve routing, you create the routes of the component which you want to access by route. like this. Then in your app component or your parent component, you will have a navbar, and from where you will want to do the navigation, there you use router link and you pass the route name, whatever the path name you give, that you have to pass it over here. And you need router outlet. Router outlet is a directive which is responsible to load activated route component. It acts as a placeholder for rendering the component. Fine. Now routing is done, but there is some problem. If I don't have any route, nothing is getting loaded. You know, if you visit any application, by default some page will load, right? How do you achieve that? When someone access my application, by default some page has to load it, right? Some component has to load. So for that we create a default route, again in your routing file only. Default route should be at the first because it's an array. It get access as a, it get processed as an index. So here path you will keep it as empty. Then sorry, redirect to property will be there. Here you can pass what component you want to open by default. So if path is empty, you don't have anything into the URL, I'm redirecting to data binding. And whenever you are creating a default route, you need path match with full value. Full and prefix is there. This is how you deploy based on that. But normally 80 to 90% we use full only. So this is your default route. Let's save it now. So if I don't have anything, still it is redirecting to data binding. If I'm directive, if I remove it, see, still it is navigating to the data binding. Means by default your application will open the data binding because that's what we said. So default route, if the URL is empty, where you should navigate? Data binding. Fine. So this is how you create a route. This is how you create a default route. Now let's say if I try user, enter. Now if I open the console, you will see an error. What it is saying, cannot match any route with user. Your application broke. Your application break, right? So how you can handle it? If someone is trying to access a route which is not there, so your application is breaking. So how you can handle it? By creating a wildcard route. Okay, this is your normal route. This is your default route. Just like that, you have a wildcard route. You will create one more component. Let's create one more component. You might have seen this while working on the project, or if while accessing, if you try to access something, you get thrown to a page where it will say this resource doesn't exist. You are trying to access unauthorized, something like that. So let's create a page, ng generate component, not found component. So we are creating a component. Now in this not found component, I will simply have h1 tag page you are looking doesn't exist. Fine. Now this component is solely responsible to handle that error. Currently you can see if we are adding something which is not there, if we are trying to access a route which is not there, it's breaking in our application, but we have to handle it, right? So for that you create a wildcard route. So you created a component. Now at the end, wildcard route should be at the end. As I said, array routes are getting access as a index. So path, you give 2 star over here. Then component, if any component, any route doesn't match, where you want to redirect? So not found. Save. Okay. Now if I try to access admin, which I don't have, see, page you are looking for doesn't exist. So your application is not breaking anymore. This is what the purpose of wildcard route. Every real-time application, production level application will have a default route and a default path. Sorry, wildcard route and the default route. Make sense? So this is what the default thing what we have in routing. Now if you check the browser, here we have 3 anchor tag. Currently, if I click on data binding, we are loaded, current active route is data binding. If I click on directive, directive. But let's say whatever the activated route is there, that anchor tag you want to highlight. So we have a router link active for something that, what is that? Active, let me check, I forgot that. Router link active. Yeah, this is one more directive. Now on your nav bar, here you can add router link active, and what class you need to add. So active class was there from bootstrap. So on every element, on every anchor tag, you will add it. Now you see .ts is not saved, I think. Let me save. .ts also. No, something is not right. Let me check why. Active class. Okay, sorry. Active class should be over here. Or active was there or something else. Let me try. We don't have to pass it like this. No, class didn't get added. Data binding. Wait. That single code is there now, so that is unnecessary. Let me remove it. Directly class name we need to pass. So active is nothing but a class name. Okay. Now see, data binding is getting highlighted. Whatever the route is activated, see, understood? Okay. This is how you add. Let's say you have some another class. Let's say over here, you are just overriding that class. And let's say color is red. Let's add important. Let's see. See, getting it? So this is the class what you are passing it over here. If that particular link is active, what that particular route is active, so this class will get added on that over here. Okay. So this is everything basic what you should know about routing, right? So we completed the fourth episode. Now we are moving towards some extra things now. So basic we the if you are following me from the first episode, we are going very subsequential flow. You know, I'm not explaining everything. As I said, ki like whatever need to know things are there, that only we are talking. Once we move ahead, wherever we need the advanced topic, that I will explain later. Okay. Again, so next video we will talk about directives. So whatever the directives we have, control flow statement, everything we will say it there properly, right? So if you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. In video description you will be finding a link of my WhatsApp group. Join that to connect with me, to schedule your mock interviews if you are giving interviews, right? We are taking live session to just to get the notification of that. You can join that WhatsApp group. Thank you. Thanks for watching.